Here is the 2024 Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo in Bianca over red interior. All new design, all new engine. Detuned MC20. 88 horsepower more than the prior gen's V8 out of the Nettuno twin turbo V6. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and you're getting a lot of MC20 and you're getting a lot of value. Starting off with the MC20 headlight assembly. The grille has been reworked. It's more oval, a little bit more wide. It goes into the lower gloss black elements, and then you're gonna get a touch of the carbon fiber on the air pocket, which gives it a little bit more of an aggressive look opposed to the Modena. There's only two trims, unless you want to option the electric variant that's coming out later on, in which you get 450-mile range, over 750 horsepower, 0 to 60 under 3 seconds. Just something to think about. Underneath the hood is what's special, the 3.0 liter twin turbo V6, producing 542 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, paired to an 8-speed ZF automatic transmission, reaching 60 at 3.3 seconds, which is 0.4 seconds slower than the MC20 engine. 76 pound-feet of torque more than the prior V8. So when you're thinking, well, it's a twin turbo V6, no more V8, this is over a second quicker, 0 to 60, 199 miles per hour. And whether you go Modena or Trofeo, you're getting the same MPGs. 18 for the city, 27 for the highway. We got a staggered setup. That's a 20-inch in the front, 21-inch out back. Red brake calipers housing 6 pistons in the front, vented, slotted. This is track worthy. Now when you go Trofeo, what's the difference? The side ports are going to get the gloss black tips. That's part of the design package, which also blackens out the side window trim. The lower blade will get the carbon fiber, so it's going to look a little bit more aggressive. The Trident badging, you're going to get the red in between it because this is the sportiest variant you could get for the GranTurismo unless you go electric. The shark fin antenna, we have the digital rear view mirror. You're going to tack on a few grand for that, but it's something that I would entertain, because you're getting a 180-degree view from the back, so there's really no blind spots. Standard air suspension, standard all-wheel drive. The rear gets the carbon fiber on the side, and you get the diffuser with the quad exhaust tips. And of course, LED for your taillights, full LED for the front. I would have liked to see maybe a spoiler in the back to make it a little bit more aggressive, because when I'm looking at Porsche, Aston Martin, even Lamborghini, I know it's not a 2+2 sports car, they have a huge, aggressive rear end. Here, it's not necessarily understated when you go Trofeo because of the diffuser. However, it will look a lot more aggressive. Now, the big problem lies in they don't offer a V8. So people are probably going to say, well, it's not going to sound the same, it's not going to drive the same. The drive to a GranTurismo is more of a Grand Tour car to begin with. So on your daily drive, you want it to be kind of quiet with an exhaust note. You're going to get that, which you'll see in the drive. And when you want it to be more aggressive, you throw it into Corsa. It's going to lower the ride because of the air suspension. It's going to get more aggressive, but it's still going to be a comfortable seat, which when you go into Porsche, Aston Martin, Ferrari, Lamborghini, any variant that's exotic like Maserati, you don't get the luxury feel. It's more hard when you're sitting in the seat because there's not as much seat cushion, plus the suspension is going to be a lot more rigid, whereas this is going to be a little bit more forgiving. But going back to the question at hand, the V8 to the twin turbo V6, I mean, I'm a big fan of V8s as well, but times have changed in which this is fully a Maserati now. No more Ferrari mixed in with it. Kick to open or power trunk release. That goes into 11 cubic feet of storage. It does sit up a little bit more. I like that it has a long and wide opening, and it is a deep storage pocket with a pass-through home plug. And underneath here, you're going to get the tire pump, but we need to go inside, start up this Trofeo so you can hear that exhaust note. 18-way power seat adjustment, heated, ventilated, memory for the driver and passenger, headroom and leg room. The Sport Design package adds these stained steel pedals as well. The red and the black, I think, pop. I like that you get the perforated right here, GranTurismo badging with the Italian flag, contrast stitching. It's a flat dashboard layout. The heads-up display and the digital rear view mirror is part of the tech package. Digital clock, 12.3 touchscreen with navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as soon as it turns on. There we go. Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse. You have to push these buttons because they cleaned up the center. And you got a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for the front and the rear. And you have different camera layouts to make it easy for the reversing. On the lower, it's an 8.8-inch touchscreen as well. For the dual climate control, heated, ventilated, heated steering wheel to turn on and off the lights, to change the ambient lighting, and the sound system, or to raise and lower the suspension. And of course, to open the glove box, you just simply push here. And underneath it, it's a wireless charger, carbon fiber inlays that open up into a storage pocket, a Maserati key fob. And the cup holders are pretty unique because you have two cup holders or you have a big bottle holder in the center. So I like that because it makes it easier for your day in and day out use. It's more sporty, but it's still soft to touch. Opens up into USB ports and a 12-volt, little bit of storage, leather wrapped steering wheel, multi-function. We get the driving modes. The Trofeo changes to a blue color for the push button start. The pedal shifter, the paddle shifters, they are large. The stocks and the gauge cluster is a full reader as well, so you can go through an array of information and you can change the actual layout of the gauge cluster. You can do it in the center for the navigation. You can also change the whole cluster layout to make it, I kind of like the classic myself, where you'll see the tach and odometer, or you can do the relaxed. We change it back here so you can see the tach and odometer on the classic. And both sides will go through an array of information for the driver. The dashboard and the door panels configuring together, and I like the pattern a little bit more so on the Trofeo. Sono fibers, 19 speakers that go through, and this is a aluminum mesh in between the carbon fiber. Push to get out. It's going to be soft pretty much everywhere. Satin aluminum in between it and a smaller storage pocket. Entering into the rear, which I don't think I would be sitting back here too much at 6'3" in my dimensions, but we're going to see how I fit. That's about enough room for me to climb on in. The rails are not too bad for feet space. Put this back so you can see leg space while that's rolling back. Headroom is actually better than the prior gen. And surprisingly, the same thing with leg space. If it stops, it's not stopping. It just keeps going. There it goes. It's going to index. I don't have any room. So it's going to be just a quick drive to a nice dinner for me. In the center gets the cup holders. You get the USB ports, air vents that are, you can just toggle it up and down because it's already positioned towards both occupants, and a clothing hanger behind the seats. With the Alcantara headliner. Over 80 horsepower more than last gen's V8. Over 70 pound-feet of torque more, 3.3 seconds 0 to 60. The GranTurismo never got that low in the numbers. So when you're thinking it's a twin-turbo V6 detuned MC20, I'm thinking it's a freaking hell of a deal what I'm getting as a package. Yes, the Trofeo goes over 200 grand, which it is a significant increase from the prior gen, but everything's reworked, even the technology with the safety. It has a throaty exhaust note. I obviously have it in Corsa, which is going to turn off pretty much all of the things that's going to make it a little bit more safe for you to drive. So if you're not necessarily used to that, I would just say throw it into sport mode. You should be fine. Corsa gets unlocked when you get into Trofeo, and look what you get. Look at this. it bites. Man, it is quick, throws you back, so you have the performance adrenaline. And then you got your grand tour for the weekend. That's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros, the Trofeo is so close to the MC20, it's insane. 0.4 seconds 0 to 60 difference. It's only a few miles per hour slower. You're 199 miles per hour already. Like, I've been 155. That's freaking fast. I dislike that you have to add a lot of features like the heads-up display, the digital rear view mirror, the design package to get the stainless steel pedals. It's a Maserati, man. Give me stainless steel pedals. But I do like the paddle shifts. They just feel good. They're large. And even though it's an Alfa Romeo steering wheel, I'm all right with that because the push button start is here. And when you go Trofeo, it's a blue push button start opposed to the Modena, which would be basically a gloss black. I like the two-tone look, especially when you go in Trofeo, because it just really has that sport vibe. Not a huge fan of the digital clock. I like that you can configure it so at least you get that unique or classic look of Maserati. You sit low, but the difference between a Maserati and other exotic vehicles is it's still a comfortable drive. And it's awesome with the soundproofing. I mean, only thing I can hear is the exhaust note. Now, if I change the driving modes, I can still hear the engine. Road noise does filter in a little bit more so. So I would say just leave it kind of on sport mode so that way you hear the exhaust funneling in and you can be a little bit more active with that twin turbo V6. The big problem that I have is when you're optioning features to this, it starts putting you closer to an MC20 price, in which the Trofeo is awesome as a package if you don't deck it out. The Modena is the sweet spot if you can get a deal and kind of sort of deck it out, because most of the features in which we're showing today, you have to add. Here we go. It's a touch of lag, but it has the performance that it needs. The brakes are not too bad. The 6 pistons, I've had brakes where they grab a little bit more tight. So when you are taking this on the track, you may want to start braking before than after. Turn radius is not going to be the best. You're at about 3 lanes. Let's go. And you can see you're right with traffic. So when you're thinking Modena or Trofeo, 0.4 second difference. You're thinking MC20, 0.4 seconds faster than this. You're not going to be seeing too much of a difference on the track, especially considering how dynamic the vehicle is. Now, a major difference between the MC20 and this is the ride to that is going to be a lot more agile. You're going to feel a lot more of the imperfections in the road and that twin clutch automatic transmission. This is a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. So I like that we're getting the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission because in studies, they have proven that it is just as quick as a twin clutch or dual clutch automatic transmission. Now it does have some lag, but when you're considering 2 twin turbos on a 3.0 liter V6, that's a lot to swallow. It feels wide and muscular because of the way it has the proportions in the front, and I'm not really worried about blind spots because I get such a quick 0 to 60. As for rivals, Porsche, Aston Martin, Lotus, going even all the way up to Ferrari, this is a bargain deal of the performance you're getting. The technology is going to be a little bit better here, and the ride is also going to be a lot more smooth. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Maserati of Tampa for giving us this 2024 Maserati GranTurismo Trofeo for our car review.